Fantastic. Good morning and welcome on a Monday morning. Today is Monday, August 14th. All right. This will be an exciting session this morning, and in a moment, you will see why. But first, let's see who here wants to make money with trading. Come on, give me a yes in the chat box. Exactly. And who here wants to make enough money with trading so that you can quit your job and make a full-time income with trading? All righty, yes. And who wants to make so much money with trading that you can travel the world and live the lifestyle you always dreamed about? Yes, absolutely. Now, how many of you want to get as much as possible out of our time together today? Yes, I want that for you. Because for most of you here with us today, this is going to be a long term relationship between us. I promise you. Once I show you how simple this is, once I show you an easy way to trade, once you realize that this actually works, once you realize that you can do this too, once you see that this can give you the freedom you want, you will want to hang out with me for a lifetime. I promise you that. So here's what we are going to do today. Today, we're going to talk about why trading. This is extremely important, and you're going to love this session here today. And of course, we're looking at the markets live. Sounds good? All right. Fantastic. So let's see what is going on in the market this morning. In the upper row, you see on the left the E-mini S&P, the Nasdaq in the middle, and the Dow in the upper right. And you see that this morning the indices are up after we had the sell-off last week, where everybody got very concerned about what's going on there with North Korea and Donald Trump. So are they going to attack or not? So this is where we had a sell-off this morning. It seems that we're bouncing back. Now let's take a look at crude oil here as well. Crude oil still struggling to break below the 50 level, and we'll take a look at it here in just a moment in a little bit more detail. So this morning down 0.3%. And again, here we have gold and bonds. And again, as the stock markets go up, these are the safe havens, right? So this is why, of course, gold and bonds have to go down. They were nicely going up last week when the stock market was going down. So there's always an inverse relationship. Now, a little bit bigger picture, let's take a look at crude oil. We talked about crude oil last Wednesday, where crude oil had another attack on the $50 mark. And you see, crude oil just cannot break through the $50 mark. This is what I marked last week, that we are trapped between $48 and $50. And you see what happened here. On Thursday, crude oil tried to break through, couldn't. Then crude oil on Friday hit the $48 mark and is right now still in between. Let's also bring up the Dow here for just a second. So DJIA, take a look at this of what's happening here with the Dow. And you see, after we broke through the 22,000 level last week, we had this huge sell-off here where we're right now below the 22,000 level. So let's see if the Dow is struggling with this level as it did with the 21,000 level, or if you're marching right through. So let me just remove this here, because we want to keep an eye on that here as well, what the markets will do this week. Let's quickly see of what's happening this week. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. So today there's nothing on the calendar. It should be smooth trading unless we get some disturbing news. So we will see what is going on there. For tomorrow, we have two red flag reports that are coming up at 8:30, and these times are Eastern time. So there's an hour before the markets open. So they might move the market. On Wednesday, we have building permits and the FOMC meeting minutes. So we'll see what happens there. You see, there was 50% chance that the Fed will raise interest rates in December. Right now, because of what's going on in the markets here, the probabilities have moved to June next year, but we'll see what happens this week if the markets can bounce back, go above 22,000 again, or if the markets remain jittery here. Go back to the economic calendar. So then we have on Thursday morning unemployment claims being released 1 hour before the markets open. Now this we have a few Orange flag report. So we have the FOMC member Kaplan speaking a couple of times on Thursday and Friday. We have capacity utilization rate, industrial production. So there's a few reports here, but the main one will be the FOMC meetings. And of course, if you're trading crude oil, the crude oil inventory. So watch out for these. All right, so this is what's going on here in the markets today, and this is what we can expect this week. Again, let's see if the Dow can continue to break through the 22,000, if this was just a blip, or if it struggles as it did at around the $20,000 mark, and also around the 21,000. Let me remove this here as well. All right, cool. So let's move on. Today, I want to, we can take a look at PowerX here in a few minutes here as well, really quick. Just wanted to bring up the charts again. There we go. And then we want to take a look at the notepad. And so I want to talk about the following. I want to talk about why trading. And I want to be a little bit more specific and want to say, why do you want to trade? Okay. Why do you want to trade, or why do you trade? Right now, type it in the chat box if you're here live. For those of you who are joining us or who are watching the recording, just write it down right now. Why do you want to trade? Why do you trade? Okay, and there's some answers coming in that I want to read here. And of course, okay, so I want to make some money. Sure, absolutely. Okay. I want to make money. Okay, there's another one. So, okay, there's quite a few coming in here. This is my job, build retirement, supplement income. Let me write these down. Okay, they're good. Supplement income. These are good ones, okay? Okay, build retirement, absolutely. So here's one thing that you should understand. This is all good, and they're right answers, right? I mean, it's their right answer, so they're good answers. But let's talk about motivation, because trading can be simple. Trading can be simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. But it's not necessarily easy, right? I mean, you have to learn how to trade. You have to sit in front of the computers, and yes, there will be frustrating days when nothing seems to go wrong. Right. When everything seems to go wrong. So how do you keep going? You see, this is important for me. How do I keep going, right? I mean, fortunately for me, most of the time trading works out, but there are some frustrating days. So what is behind? I mean, you want to make money in order to do what? Because the important thing is, for trading, you need to be motivated, right? So this is because you have to invest time and money into trading. It's just the way it is. So what will money do for you? Okay. So what will the money do for you? So if you have more money, what could you do? Right. And while you're typing this in, I want to tell you what it does for me. You see, in the beginning, first, what I wanted to do, I wanted to buy toys, right? Just because to have fun. So by buying toys, I wanted to buy motorcycles. So to be specific, I wanted to buy a Harley Davidson. Okay, I wanted to buy a boat. I wanted to buy nice cars, right? So this is where I have Tesla. So I wanted to buy a nice house, right? So these are all the things that are important, absolutely. We'll get to why all these in a minute here. But secondly, I also wanted to have more time, okay? Have more time. And this is actually where I wanted to able to build more time, have more time for my family, and especially my kids, right? As you know, right now, I'm on a road trip, so I'm just a few hours away from being back in Austin. I'm probably 4 hours away. And this is where I'll be back and then be in front of the computer, and then I can day trade, and I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, absolutely. So what will it do for me? Buy the toys, have more time for my family. And ultimately, Let me see what you're writing in here. So, financial freedom, freedom, freedom. Okay. So, yeah, and exactly. So there's a few answers coming in here saying it will buy time, right? So that you have more time for my family. And yes, some of you say freedom, but what does it really mean, freedom? What does it really mean? You see, I believe ultimately the reason why we trade, at least for me, is happiness, right? I mean, I want to be happy. And I think I'm pretty happy. I'm a pretty happy camper. But this is what we're looking for, happiness. Now, so this is where, you see, in the beginning, I thought that these toys are bringing me happiness. And oh my God, yeah, they do bring me happiness. I'm very happy when I'm sitting on the motorcycle, and I took it up to New England, and I was riding around there. Beautiful. I was riding um, through the forest there, through the woods. I mean, I smell it. So yes, absolutely, I'm happy. I'm happy when I'm out on the boat. Absolutely. I mean, that's my thing, right? Am I happy when I'm driving the Tesla? Oh yeah. I mean, when I get into this car, I just love this car. I love the quality. I love how quiet it is. It makes me smile. I really get behind the wheel and I'm smiling as soon as I get into the car. I love driving the car. I love being in a nice house. I love overlooking the lake, right? So, and also having more time for my family is giving me happiness. So, this is where, you know how they say money can't buy you happiness. Do you believe this? Do you believe that money can't buy you happiness? I don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do believe that money can buy happiness, right? I mean, I'm happy with these toys. I'm happy having more time with my family than not having this. So by having money, so this is where you see, I firmly believe that money solves problems. So, and let me just give you a few examples. And I'm watching the chat box here, so that's fantastic. So I love the interaction here. So please, just if you're here live, absolutely, let's chat. Let's interact. So money solves problems, right? I mean, first of all, yes, if you have a crappy car right now that breaks down all the time, right? So let's say crappy car right now. Okay, so money solves the problem. If you can buy a new car, okay, problem solved. Now, let's say, you see, for me also, it's very important that I can take care of my parents. So many years ago, it must have been probably already 10 years ago, I bought the house that they're living in. I bought the house so that they do not have any more mortgage payments. So they live in this house rent free because I wanted to provide for them, right? So this is where you might want to provide for your family, right? Which can be your kids, your spouse, your parents, right? Kids, spouse, give them a good life. See, my parents, a few months ago, I believe it was in April or May, they visited me here in Austin. And of course, when they're visiting me, I'm buying the plane tickets for them because I can, right? So, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy. My parents live in Germany. It makes me happy if I can buy the plane tickets and come let them come over to the U.S. I also at this time had a 3 day boot camp in Houston. So I asked them, do you want to come with, right? And they said, sure, we would like to come with. So it was a Marriott hotel. So I got them a really, really nice room there. And I said, you know what, do whatever you want here. Everything is taken care of. Just put it on the room and I'll take care of this. And you see, for me, it's important that I can do this for my parents. And it was also, it meant a lot to me that on the first day when we started the boot camp, my dad came into the room, sat in the back row, and watched me being on stage. And I saw that he was very proud of me. And you see, this meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me that I could have them fly over, be in a nice hotel, right? eat, drink, whatever they want to do there, take care of them, and then have him being in the room and seeing his son on stage and being proud of me. So it meant a lot to me. You see, what else do you want to do? You want to leave a legacy, right? I mean, you want to make donations, okay, to charity. Want to support charity? Absolutely, money can do this for you. So this is where I believe it is very very important that we really write down our why. Why do we want to trade? And yes, I want to make some money is good, but in order to do what? Make your why bigger. So let me write this down, okay? Because make your why bigger so that it becomes a must, right? So you say, oh my gosh, I have to figure out this trading thing. I have to sit in front of the computer. See, I've some private students who I coach personally. So we have a mastermind program and an inner circle. And for example, there's a gentleman who is so dedicated to trading. He has such a big why. He still has a job. He cannot trade throughout the day. However, because he really wants to make money with trading, his why is so big. He is getting up at 2:30 a.m. at night to trade from 3 to 5 a.m. in the middle of the night. Then he takes another nap and then he goes to work. So, do you think that he has a big why? Absolutely. Do you think that he would do this if he just says, you know what, I want to make some money? And again, whoever said this, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just saying you need the bigger why, right? You need the bigger why to really make this a must so that you say, oh, yeah, my gosh, I do whatever it takes so that I can make more money with trading. And this is why I'm here with you in these coffees for Marcus, right? This is why we want to hang out together because I want to show you a way to do this, whether you use PowerX Analyzer or you use binary options here or you're day trading. And tomorrow we'll talk more about day trading. So tomorrow morning, if you tune in, we'll talk about day trading. We'll look at the markets live and we'll look at crude oil and the mini S&P. And so tomorrow we'll do a little bit of day trading, and then we go back again to trading stocks and options, and we'll talk about binaries as well. But I just want to leave you with this thought today because it is Monday, and so Monday it's always good to get a little bit of motivation in the morning, right? It's also quite interesting that I see here right now. This morning we have the fewest attendees ever, right? So usually we're hovering around 200. I believe right now we are down at around 180 here. So I just want to give you a little bit of motivation and tell you, okay, what is your why, right? Make this why big. Make it really big, and believe me, money can buy happiness. And I firmly believe, because I'm doing it, I believe that it is possible to make money with trading. And that's why I'm here. This is why we are hanging out, and this is why we want to spend some time together. All right, cool. So for those of you who are attending live here, I'll hang out for a little bit and answer your questions, chat with you a little bit more. For those who are watching the recording, please make sure to tune in live so that we can have some interaction, that you can ask questions as well, that you can have some comments, and always have some cool tidbits after we stop the recording here. So I'm going to stop this right now, and then I'll see you guys very, very soon.